What is up? And welcome back to Quickie Reviews with your boy Diesel Time for Rasqache Art Media. And today we're talking about Blade Runner 2049. Oh boy, oh boy. And in the spirit of revitalizing every franchise that Harrison Ford has ever been in, we get another one, the hugely anticipated follow-up to the original Blade Runner, 30 years in the future. Let's talk about it. So, putting a movie together is a huge feat. It takes tons of people, and everyone did their job on this movie. We have an amazing score, incredible cinematography, fascinating visuals, costumes, sets, the effects, the design, everything was brilliant. It brought you back, and if that weren't enough, Blade Runner 2049 also has a compelling detective story beneath all these bells and whistles, and it's done with top-notch acting. And the direction, oh my god, Denis Villeneuve, however you pronounce your name, bravo dude, you did it big on this one. Every scene delivers only enough information to kind of make sense of what happened in the scene before. And so in order to understand what's happening, you got to keep on paying attention and wait for the next scene to fill you in and let you, oh, that's what that meant. Okay, now I'm following. Okay, so you're constantly questioning, but you're never falling too far behind, and that's just an incredible feat. So bravo to that. Now let's get into some of the characters. Real quick, gotta give a shout out to my boys, Eddie J. O and Dave Bautista. Class act dudes. They're only in the movie for one scene each, but Dave Bautista does some of the best acting of his career and starts the movie off with a bang, while Edward James Olmos drops some hot fire fan service folding up the paper sheet and gives us some knowledge and wisdom, keeping the movie going forward. And keeping it going forward, let's talk about our star Ryan Gosling, a guy who's not known for doing the big action sci-fi stuff. I mean, he's best known probably for La La Land after last year, but he proves that he can jump over and do probably the closest thing to a superhero movie that we're gonna get from this guy. And all the while, he's not being overshadowed by Harrison Ford, Wright Jared Leto. He's taken up the lion's share of this movie's screen time, and he has that gravity to make us feel for the class of slaves, these replicants, and see them as having some humanity. So bravo for that. Now of course we all want to talk about Harrison Ford. Duh, that's why we came to see the movie, right? I was a little worried that he might mail this one in, but nah, clearly he takes Deckard very seriously. He jumped right back in. He makes you believe that this guy is back in the mix after 30 years. So big ups to Harrison Ford for not, phoning it in. On the other hand, I didn't feel the same about Jared Leto's performance, especially after the drama that we got in Suicide Squad. I'm wondering if it was by design that he was only in the movie for a couple scenes, or if, just like in Suicide Squad, the majority of his performances were left on the cutting room floor. I mean, it kind of felt like he was in a completely different movie.
This movie is a cartoon, yes?
On the flip side of the coin, the whole movie felt like an extension of Blade Runner, the original, or the director's cut, or the final cut, or whatever cut you're comfortable with. It felt like we're going back to that world. The design, the characters, their vernacular, their costumes, everything felt like we're going back, while allowing for some time to naturally have passed and for the story to have progressed while we were away, but now we got some new stories to tell. And speaking of new stories, I thought it was interesting how right off the bat they let us know that Ryan Gosling's K character is indeed a replicant, whereas trying to go back to whether Deckard is a replicant would be a bit much to tackle with a new character. Instead, we have different moral quandaries and questions about our humanity that we can ask with a completely different approach to looking at the character. And they kind of reverse engineered The Matrix and Children of Men and got you to wonder, is he the one? The one being the only firstborn replicant baby, now a man? It's a cool question, and it allows us to look at all kinds of new ways of looking at intelligence and life and human rights. In a time when we don't really take the time to discuss these things. We got a lot going on right now. AI is coming down the pipeline, and these are all things that we got to start asking ourselves now. So my only complaint in this regard is that we got a lot of replicant characters who, they want to be regarded as equal and treated as equal and be equal to humans, and as they should. But other than Robin Wright's character trying to keep this replicant baby on the hush, we don't really get much human input. We don't really know how they would react to the replicants having babies. They only allude or speculate that it would be a game changer, but that was an instance where they did a lot more telling than showing. But I mean, whatever, one small complaint, I think that's all. It's fine, it's cool. So that was my review. Those are my thoughts on the new Blade Runner. Tell me what you thought. Do you think Deckard is a replicant? Does it matter at this point? Leave all your crazy theories in the comments. Like and subscribe. Check out my comic book, kalakacomic.com, rasqacheart.com. If you want to see more, check it out. Get a copy for yourself. I'm Diesel Tom. Have a good one, baby. Oh boy, oh boy. Peace.